Something is absolutely shifting here. We have CME impacts. We have a negative polarity coronal high-speed stream building in. We also have Mercury that is stationing direct. The sun is also moving into Aries along with the moon, and we have the spring equinox. So the energy is building for this new energetic new year. Are you here for it? So if you have been feeling restless, tired, emotional, if you have been feeling wired, or like reality is really trying to get your attention, stay with me. Sarah Star here. I am your galactic guide here with your space weather, here with your energy forecast for today, March the 20th of 2026, solar cycle 25. We are going to go through the solar activity first, and then the geomagnetic storm, and then an outlook on the northern lights and the visibility, and then our current solar wind. And then we're going to go more to the astrological layer here, and then how the collective energy is going to play out individually and with everybody along with us. So now it's time to regulate your nervous system. Everything is okay. Let's jump into it. A G2 geomagnetic storm watch in effect today, March 20th through the 21st and into the 22nd. The reason is a combination of possible CME arrivals and that coronal-hole high-speed stream. This is expected to become more certain here by the 21st, and maybe there is a slight chance of a G3 strong geomagnetic condition. Solar activity itself has been relatively low overall, but region 4392 here in the southwestern quadrant is the main contributor, and also noting region 4397 in the northeastern quadrant as stable on the eastern side of the disk. The same discussion kind of shows that the last 24-hour period has no Earth-directed CMEs available in the coronagraph imagery. So the storming we're focused on now is mainly from those earlier launches already in transit, not a brand new major Earth-directed blast from today. The key launch tied to the storm window is from that M2.7 solar flare from region 4392 on March the 6th. NOAA says that flare showed signatures that are associated with the CME, and this event is one of the reasons why this G2 watch was issued in the first place, and that's going to extend into the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, because we also had another CME launch here, and we are watching for these geomagnetic storms to increase. Now, here is our solar threat probability. C-class flares, as you can see, higher percentage of a 60% chance of having a C-class flare. And M-class flare is at a 15%. X-class flare, we went down to a 1%. It was at a 10%, along with that proton percentage. Those also inflated. But we're looking at radio blackouts here, at least a 15% chance of having an R1 to an R2 minor to moderate radio blackout occurrence through March the 20th into the 22nd. There is a 1% chance of having an R3 or a higher, which means that communications on the sunlit side could occasionally have loss of contact or brief degradation in low frequency navigation signals. Well, let's talk about this coronal hole, because the coronal hole piece matters because it includes a negative polarity stream that is expected to arrive in a more meaningful way by the 21st. So it doesn't automatically guarantee a stronger storm by itself, but when the incoming interplanetary magnetic field turns southward, or that negative BZ, it couples more efficiently with Earth's magnetic field, and the geomagnetic activity becomes more severe. We were just going to be seeing those elevated terms come in on the 20th and the 21st, and then the 22nd, they'll dip back down. But as you can see, we're going to be hit with a little bit of that plasma bulk. It's not going to be as heavy as we were expecting it to be, but the velocity is going to be there, not much density. For Aurora watchers, a G2 storm can push Aurora visibility much farther south than normal. A G2 can bring the Aurora down roughly to the latitude band of New York to Wisconsin to Washington State. A G3 strong geomagnetic storm can still push it lower down into Illinois or Oregon, but best odds are still that northern tier, so Alaska, Canada, Montana, Idaho, the Dakota Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Michigan, Maine, upstate New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, upper tips. But if that storm does overperform, some viewers farther south can watch it lower into the northern horizon. So if you are in the northern United States or southern Canada, especially under dark skies, tonight and tomorrow night are going to be worth watching. NOAA's dashboard snapshot, I checked, the solar wind was around 466 kilometers with a BZ about 14.9 nanoteslas, and it is pointing northward as it goes towards the end of the night. We're going to be seeing a slip into those negative BZs, and hopefully it couples and we get a beautiful aurora for tonight. Elevated parameters are expected from March the 20th through the 22nd as the CME and the coronal-hole effects move in. But right now, it's not just about the speed number, it's really about the combination of solar wind high-speed streams. This is about the wind speed, the field strength. This is especially noticeable whenever that BZ turns southward. So faster wind plus a southward field is really when things can light up. So here's a nice effect of what tonight's aurora forecast may look like and tomorrow night's aurora forecast as well. On official NOAA's website, we do have that G2 storm, and it's talking about producing some high radio fading frequencies at higher latitudes and also some satellite drag that's going to be associated with that. So when we get into these geomagnetic storm conditions, we see a wider aurora oval that opens up. So for everyday people, what that is it can produce, yes, aurora potential, but it also can have this occasional GPS or radio weirdness associated with it. And then the subjective side, a lot of people report during geomagnetic activity, especially when it's heightened, is feeling wired and restless and emotional or stirred or having disrupted sleep if you're sensitive to those energies. And that last part is just this interpretation of these high radio frequencies, gamma radiation that comes in from cosmic storms such as coronal holes or CMEs. This is plasma that's ejected off. So we're getting into those G2 moderate conditions. So transformers, there may be damage risk there. We could see those higher latitude, high frequency radio waves fading off. And of course, those auroras seen in New York and Idaho, along with perhaps seen in Illinois and Oregon if we get into those strong categories of a KP6 or a KP7 or possibly higher. We've seen coupling effects create stronger geomagnetic storms. Not saying that's what's happening today, but it is something that we are going to look at. Everybody, let's get into some of our planetary alignments: the sun, the moon, Mercury, the equinox. All of it is coming up next because astronomically, we're looking at March, the equinox coming in and being a really big predecessor for us. So what we're seeing right now here on our sun, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing Aries kind of taking over it astronomically. The March equinox happens March 20th, about 10:46 a.m. This is EDT in New York. And this is tropical astrology. So that's the moment that the sun here is going to be entering into Aries. So this is not only the equinox, it's also the beginning of Aries season, which many astrologers have read as the start of a fresh personal and collective cycle. I agree with this. So what we're seeing here on our sun is a mix between a lot of different aspects. Signs most affected is going to be these cardinal signs. There's going to be a strong impact with Aries, with identity and rebirth. People who have Cancer placements, this is going to be emotions, and your home life is going to be shifting. People who have Libra or Capricorn, you may see relationships reset or be tested, or your career and your structure just changing because all of this. So truth is going to come fast. It's going to be less tolerant for any of those illusions, and your nervous system is going to feel amped up and it's going to feel restless. But that is not all, because we do have a lot of other planetary alignments that are going to be taking the stage as well. So if you see that surge of motivation or that physical energy come out, there's going to be this major initiation type energy that's going to appear. You're going to want to start something new, and that's cool with everybody. That's fine. That's actually the point of the energy here. What we're seeing here with our moon is also a waxing crescent phase with Aries. So Aries new moon, that happened on March the 18th, and that moon entered into Aries on March the 19th at 12:03 a.m. It's going to stay there until March the 21st. So a lot of energy is going to be amping up in Aries, pushing us straight forward. And then it's going to be entering into that Taurus energy. So for most of today, we have Aries moon, Aries sun riding right alongside that equinox energy. Again, we just came out of that Pisces new moon. So there was emotional clearing, and now we're shifting into an action period state. But that's not all, because it's going to be paired with those solar storms on the equinox that's tilted, and it's going to increase all of the momentum in cosmic energy that's coming in with that coronal high speed polar tethered stream. So it's going to amplify emotional intensity and restlessness. So if you guys are in the signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, Leo, Scorpio, Pisces, you guys are going to feel these intense shifts. There's going to be reactive energy that's going to be surrounding these signs. There's going to be heightened impulsive decision. So make sure that you have your head screwed on tight, because we do have some other energetic effects coming in, such as Mercury going direct. Yes, people, Mercury was retrograde and now it is stationed direct, which is really important because this is a big marker, and it happens March 20th again in Pisces. So it's about 8 degrees Pisces right after being retrograde since February the 26th. Mercury stays in Pisces through mid-April. And then it's going to be switching. So this is not an instant snapback into hyper clarity. It's really a pivot point where information is going to begin to unstick. So intuition is going to really sharpen here. So this is like a stack with a Pisces new moon, an Aries equinox, an Aries moon, and then Pisces direct or Mercury direct in Pisces. So we read on all of that as really a closure turning into ignition. And this is going to be that water that is giving way to fire, and the fog is going to start lifting. But that body may feel overstimulated when the direction gets a little bit clearer here. And that's where we go into our collective reading. But right now we have Mercury that is just initiating a better communication aspect, but it's going to have no more delays. Expect everything to move a lot faster. Calm returns here coming soon. So these are going to be the most affected signs here. Again, strongest impact is going to be Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. There's going to be major life shifts, and definitely you're having new starts coming all over the place. If you're looking for mental and emotional resets, Pisces, you're it. Gemini, Virgo, you're it as well. So that confusion, that fog is going to start clearing for you guys. If you're a Leo or a Sagittarius, expect your confidence to start rising and an energy burst to push you forward. And of course, Scorpio, you're still going through intense transformations here. You got a lot of interesting placements going on. So deep emotional shifts for anybody with a sun, moon, rising position in Scorpio. That truth is going to be revealed to you. So this is happening because our sun is entering into Aries. This is that new cycle energy. We have the spring equinox. We have the moon in Aries also. So that emotion is going to equal that reaction or that action that you do take on top of it. Yet again, impulsivity, make it 0. Okay. Make sure you're listening and you're very hyper aware of the surroundings and the conversations that you are having. Communication will start improving, but not 100% today. So Mercury direct, that's going to be where that clarity does return. Yet again, give it time, stationing completely direct. Collectively, this looks like a threshold moment. The sun in Aries is really going to want movement and assertion and initiation and truth through action. The moon in Aries is really going to speed up any emotional reactions and instinct. And then, of course, Mercury direct in Pisces can bring realizations, dream symbolism, intuitive downloads, resurface conversations, and the slow return of mental coherence after weeks of reworking all of the same themes, and we're kind of sick of it. But individually, people may feel restless and activated or emotional. Their sleep may be disrupted. They may have those vivid dreams, or suddenly they're done with the confusion. And the strongest astrological impact, in my opinion, is really on those cardinal signs. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, because Aries season and the Aries moon hit that access directly. So if Pisces or Gemini and Virgo, yes, you're going to still feel strongly because Mercury's stationing is going to happen in Pisces, and the Mercury itself really rules Gemini and Virgo. So you're going to be feeling a little bit odd, and there's odd things that are happening in our reality. The Ohio meteor, yes, I heard that. You know, I'm only a couple, like an hour away from where that happened. So the sonic boom broke apart all over the state. That event was real. And we also had Bigfoot sightings all over Ohio at the same exact time. So we're having all of these weird things that are happening all at once. You know, the United States government quietly made their domain name of aliens.gov and also alien.gov because they are preparing for something that is bigger, and it's coming soon. All right, guys, let's get into our energetic guidance section. This is where we kind of stack CME pressure, that coronal-hole wind, that equinox reset, that Aries activation, that Mercury stationing direct. A lot of people are feeling it in their nervous system, and it can feel and look like buzzing and head pressure and weird sleep and emotional surges, sudden clarity, agitation, or an urge to purge what's just no longer fitting you. And you may have this urge to reset and move forward and just quickly leave everything behind because that old energy is keeping you stagnant. So what we're seeing right now is our chakra systems that are under a lot of different pressure. If we look at our root chakra, our root chakra is where that anxiety, that restlessness, feeling ungrounded, that's where that heightened energy really can destabilize your grounding procedures. And if you do not have enough grounding energy in your natal chart, this can bring a need for stability, and it can also make it feel like you're in survival mode all of the time. You may have body tension in your legs and your lower back, but also what is being really affected specifically is going to be your solar plexus as well. So this is where digestive issues come in, and that nausea or those butterflies inside of your stomach. There's going to be heat associated with it, and irritation and an urgency. And there's going to be willpower surges when you have your solar plexus and your power and your identity kind of taken over. So this is your energetic processing center, and it can react strongly to these energetic shifts that's also coming in. Now, another chakra system that's going to be affected is going to be your heart chakra. This is going to be where that emotional release comes in, that grief clearing comes in, when you have compassion that is mixed with that overstimulation. So heightened energy can really open the heart center, and it will release that stored emotional energy that you have kept deep down. There could be sudden sadness that could be brought up in these compassionate waves that do roll through. Now, there are two other chakras that are going to be affected during this stage. Right now, it's going to be the third eye. So yet again, vivid dreams, symbols, downloads. There's going to be heightened intuition. Yet again, we talked about that mental fog and clarity spikes, and it's going to be actually really active during this energetic shift. So you may feel like your mind is racing and all over the place. And this coincides with this crown chakra as well. So tingling in your head or downloads or that sudden insight spikes, and heightened energy can really increase that spiritual sensitivity or that connection to higher frequency information. So really the best regulation tools when we go into these chakra centers, when you're sensitive to energies, is to hydrate, to reduce any type of overstimulation, take breaks from doom scrolling, definitely get sunlight early if you can, ground physically, slow those reactions, journal what is surfacing, and let your body process before you force any type of decision. That is my energetic guidance to you. So for the next 24 to 48 hours, I would expect this energy to stay active. Our forecast is really carrying strong signatures of a G2 to a G3 possible strong geomagnetic storm here today on March the 20th and going into the 21st. We have that negative polarity coronal high-speed stream that's going to overlap all of this. So make sure that you are drinking a higher pH water that's actually going to hydrate you and not dehydrate you like Aquafina or Dasani. They put special things in those type of waters to make it feel like you are more thirsty, and it actually dehydrates you even more. So make sure that you are also starting to ease back from any type of emotional turmoil that may be creeping in. Note that there are voice to skull technologies that they do increase through radio frequencies. So your devices are going to pick up on where your brain waves are specifically located at, and they're going to try to switch them. So make sure that you are being presently aware of what is your thoughts and what is not your thoughts. If those negative emotions come up, realize where they're coming from. If you feel it in your body, what chakra center it's being located in, and then try to expel that. And you can do that through journaling and things as well. But we are seeing unsettled to minor storm levels starting to occur right now, and it's going to start increasing throughout the day. So the vibe is really a new year, a new fire, but not fully calm yet. We're in the old fog, but we're getting right out of it. We're about to see everything very, very clearly, but we're not completely settled in that new timeline either. All right, beautiful souls, that is your space weather and energy forecast for March the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. I'm Sarah Starr, your galactic guide. And if you want to go deeper into how these transits and this energy are affecting you personally, you can book with me at sarahstarofficial.com. I offer natal chart readings. I also offer Starseed origin readings, Akashic record readings. I do monthly cosmic energy forecasts, and I go into higher consciousness sessions through my website here. So www.sarahstarofficial.com to discover your cosmic blueprint. And of course, if this resonated, make sure that you like and subscribe. Send this to somebody who has been feeling these energy shifts lately. And you can find my social links through my website as well. I will be back with more cosmic updates very soon. So make sure that you are following for more, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, everybody.